Okay, let's see. I think we're all set. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, perfect. Alrighty now. What do we do here? I already got everything I would want here, right? Yeah. We got some saints and some sages. Got a bit of that more reddish. Hmm. You know, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, this kind of reminds me of how, stuff looks brown in the Realm of Shadows, you know? Oh well. I'll keep that thought to myself. Alright. Ah! That's what I get for trying to get on that thing while looking at chat. Anyway, hey! See, you guys are, a bunch of you guys are here. Hey, good to see you, chat. Howdy, y'all. How you doing? Fun bit of connective tissue I noticed is that the Horned Warriors have moves the same as the Horned Sense weapon skill. I don't know which Horned Sense weapon skill we're talking about here. So yeah, sorry. That I'm like, oh, I mean, I guess that's cool, but like, I don't know what it is. Yeah, okay, it's not. There's no banners here. Maybe it's in the Pagan Quarter. Yeah, it's not here though. Definitely not here. I swear, these things get everywhere. I'll be honest, I don't know how these snakes do it, but they know how to slither their way into places, you know? Let's see. Yeah, let's look at the Pagan Quarter stuff real quick, and then we'll be done. Up-a-doo-doo-doo-doo. We're going this way. I'm pretty sure I'm not misremembering this, but just to be safe. Yeah, it's just a Stormveil thing, yeah, okay. I'm not crazy. I had a window open, I'm dumb. Well, how's that dumb? Unless you have the AC on, then yeah, that's pretty dumb. Oh, 3 dumb, 5 Discord. Wrong on the vol. Oh, I see. You're talking about like a PC window. Let's see. Yeah, we just got that. And yeah, okay. Nothing to worry about there. Alrighty. So we should have a body around here. Has a unique weapon called the Faults. I see. Cool. So we're talking about like the basic generic like shadow enemies then, right? If we're talking about like just Horn Scent. I mean that would be consistent, that's for sure. I'm still trying to think, like the other thing I can think of is that the forges themselves create the lava, right? But otherwise I don't know where the hell it's being sourced. Cerulean Coast. Oh, you had them open. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah. I remember doing that some of my early streams. I would have sometimes I would be like, there'd be double audio, and I'd be like, what the hell's causing it? I'd be like, oh, the Discord video's playing. That's why. No, the Mikla follower called the horn. Oh, as in like the horn sent NPC. Okay, okay, like the unique NPC. We need to give this guy a name because clearly he doesn't leave much of an impression. Like Charles. Yeah, Charles, Jim, Harold. Something. Hey, Tyrone. Yeah, nothing weird or disturbing ever happens at a celebration. It's a beautiful festival. Let's see. Bonnie. It's not this thing down here, is it? Oh, it might actually be. So let me go down here. Yeah, we'll have some. I'm okay with having actual, like, normal background audio music here. We gotta have something to listen to. Oh, this is lower than I wanted to be. Oh, okay. This isn't what I wanted. Volksman! Truly, we are a creative group of fans. All right. This thing over here. Yeah, it is just this thing. Okay. So I was thinking, I was like, it talks about having, I was looking and it was saying like, oh yeah, Graveside Plains, there's, festive Greece. I'm like, where? And I vaguely recall this area possibly being the place, but I'm like, okay, well, that's like, right, that's like, yeah. That makes sense. It's okay. So basically, you only get it there and then, like, in Shadowkeep. And yeah, okay, okay. Alright, I'll leave. I mean, if you guys gotta go, you gotta go, but it's always wonderful having you all in chat. Speaking of festivals, I'm reminded of when I, went down a huge rabbit hole, because Wiktionary's definition of the kanji of gloam included the eve of an event, especially of a festival. Yeah, I can see how you could go down a rabbit hole for that, depending on how, deep you wanna go, right? But, like, yeah, I would... Like, that's the type of thing where I'm like, okay, they're not, unless there's something, like, really, like, you know, blatant, like, in the game, I would assume something like that wouldn't... Like, that's a very, like, niche, like, you know, secondary definitions type of thing, like something that wouldn't even register in my mind looking at it, right? Like, it'd have to be something where, like, I have to have the pun, like, right in front of me, right? You know? Alright! You can use this to get up and down. I forgot. Alright. Alright, so yeah, we have the Fort of Reprimand there. There's nothing else really interesting to say about that stuff here. Yeah. I do wonder if the cannibalism thing was actually being done here by the shamans. Right. Because it could be they just wanted to kill the people for their runes and or to make the weapons and stuff, like the Dominula women, so they could gather runes. But I mean, I guess if you're doing 2/3 of the thing, may as well do the last thing as well, right? We good. I'll wait for Honkai for me attention. Yeah, I will be doing the Honkai stuff probably like next week or what have you. I want to finish going through Coffin probably this week. Or maybe finish up early next week, depending. I just couldn't do a stream today. I was just so I'm feeling very low energy, so I'm just like, okay, okay. Like, I'm not gonna be able to, like, you know, do, like, any prolonged, like, you know, what's the word? Like, route hunting. While also doing voice acting and stuff. It's gonna be too much for me today. So I'm like, okay. Da-da-da. Yeah, nothing crazy to see here, no. If you could live anywhere in Wii? Where would you live? I assume you mean in the world. Where would I live and why? I mean, I'm already living in America. Why would I leave? I have a question. So Kanji Bastard / one top for the Weeping Peninsula Mausoleum is also used by Ymir for the two fingers. This is line up. I don't remember Ymir's dialogue in particular, but I mean the terminology. I mean that would match up in my mind, yes, because the terminology is used frequently in well, it's not that uncommon in fantasy games in general, but yes, I mean Miyazaki uses it. I would say not infrequently in the JP script for sure. For Elden Ring and, of course, his other games. I mean, it's not even just him, right? DS2 also uses the term. It's a term that sometimes can be kind of punny, but for the most part, from what I've noticed in Elden Ring, it's basically being used generically in the same way that it's used in others. I think the simplest way is just to think of it as another term for, like, you know, how to put it. Yeah, it's basically used as another term for kind of like a monster, you know, something you just, you know, something bad you don't want, you don't like, you don't want near you, you don't want to keep, you know, again. Pretty generic in that sense. I meant ER, but autocorrect for no reason. Okay, if we're talking about ER specifically, where would I want to live? I would like Liurnia. Liurnia is pretty. Altus also isn't bad. Like, I could live with all the yellow. I don't know if I could deal with having the Erd tree constantly shining on me, though, like that, though. That might be a bit too much for me. I'm like, I like my knights to be knights. Mm-hmm. Night Scout, I answered your question already. You're trying to go into Bastard's thing. That's not the way to think about it. Any more than that's the way to think about it for Estelle. Like I said, it's best to just think about it as like a generic term for monster. Yeah, there's nothing really here. It's just open fields and stuff, so. Where are the jails again? Because we have a jail down here somewhere too, right? Yeah, I think it's about time. Yeah, it's probably time I go through Dragon's Pit here. I'd set up a small fishing village in the Cerulean Coast, probably. I don't know if I could deal... I mean, Cerulean Coast, it looks nice and stuff, but I don't know if I could deal with all the graves everywhere, you know? You know... That might be a bit much for me. Could this imply that the two fingers being physically wrong and should never have had two digits? No, not necessarily. Again, it's a terminology that... How do I put this? So, historically speaking, the term was used for something like a noble's bastard, right? It means something like a fallen child, right? Like something where it's like, you know... I don't want... It's not necessarily like stray or whatever, right? But, you know, it's off the path. You know, it's off the proper path, so to speak, right? Like, that's the idea in abstract. In terms of what that means for how it's... The term's usage, it's basically, like I said, like, kind of like, you know... It becomes like sort of just a byword for saying, oh, this is a negative thing. And that's basically the best way to think about it. That's why I say, like, especially think about it as, like, it's a generic term used for monster a lot of times. Like, for example, like, say your Nishandras or your Nadalias, right? Or you say have, like I said, Estelle earlier, right? Like, there's nothing necessarily, quote-unquote, wrong with Estelle. It's just a nasty monster thing that, you know, causes harm to people. So, yeah, that's how you're going to characterize it. It's, again, it's not something that I would hyperfixate on. Because, again, it's used in a pretty wide array of cases in Elden Ring. Like, there's not like, oh, wow, it's really referring to, like, this specific set of things. And this is more or less held true throughout the games. Including Bloodborne, Dark Souls. I don't remember if it's in Demon Souls at all. Just regular stuff there. We haven't killed, what's-his-face here yet, right? Yeah, you want me to drop. Yeah. Okay. Huh, I guess I should have seen that one coming. I don't remember there being a hole here. Like, that makes sense, but I just don't remember there being one here. Isn't the withered variant of Estelle also called a malformed star? Okay, so the term used for Estelle, it more so means like, it's a term that means like atypical or grotesque, and it's a word for something that says that it's essentially a terminology that means it's different from the norm, right? I have always taken issue with the localization's translation of that as malformed. Because it's more so just that it's a relative term of something being essentially unappealing, right? And how harsh that terminology is depends on how you read it. You know, saying Ike versus Igyo. And it's just one of those things where, generally speaking, it's not trying to say, like, oh, it's malformed as in, like, it formed wrong or badly or something like that. It's just saying it's different. Which, yeah, you look at Estelle and you're like, yeah, that's pretty alien. That's pretty alien from what we usually see on this game. I think it's pretty likely referring to a noble's illegitimate child in the context of the soulless demigod in the mausoleum. It's referring to the fact that it's a soulless demigod. You know, it's affected by death root. That's the whole point of the use of the terminology, right? I would not fixate on this idea again, because the historical usage, it just doesn't get really used. I'm sorry, like, I've never seen it being used in quote unquote its, you know, proper historical context. Like, it's become very much a generic byword. What would be your preferred type of magic if you lived in ER? I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be using it regardless. So, Estelle can be a monster, but also totally normal for a star life form. Yes, theoretically, right? It's not saying, like, oh, this thing is unusual compared to other stuff, you know, like, other stuff of its, I don't know, category, right? If we're determining that to be stars, right? Like, the only thing that would be particularly unusual about Estelle, I suppose you could say, is that it's, quote-unquote, like, malicious, right? Like, it's trying to do harm to people and things and stuff of that nature, right? Versus most other stars, which obviously they don't generally are doing that, right? But like, yeah, like there's nothing like, oh wow, this is like totally like beyond the pale for what we see with star stuff. Like, I mean, we see plenty of other star stuff, which is also kind of weird looking. Wow, so it really, okay, so it doesn't take much for this thing to come. Oh, damn. Faith, ye of little faith. I'm not gonna be making any goddamn vows to an Erdtree. It just ain't happening. I'm not gonna pray to a tree. Alright, so best to just stay outside of the arena, period. Going full int/faith build, gonna be Radican maxing. Radigon! Ah! Oh, why do I keep doing this? I need to stop looking at the chat while I'm going through that section, because it just leads me to falling to my death. Alright, let's get there and then we can chat. There we go. Well, here we go. Let's see. Something like this, right? This is not bad as an alternative. Alright, there we go. Yeah, down here. I love how I survive! Thanks to soft sand, I guess. Maybe that's why the tower's covered in sand, you know? God, you look ugly. Like, Jesus Christ. Why are you so ugly? There we go. Do I want shots of this guy in combat? No, I don't care. Cut that Ring City sand. He's a man with feelings, Loki. Stop it! No. What feelings? Getting pegged? Aye. I guess we can do it like this, too. I guess. Looks a little kind of awkward. Priest is a similar red cloth, I think. Oh, is this not just part of, like, having the dragon form? Is this actually unique to this boss, or am I tripping? They have terrible teeth. I guess they do. Those aren't some sharp jumpers, are they? Got some weird color on his chest. I suppose. A little bit of blue discoloration there. A lot of red and gold cloth for sure. I assume it's not a weapon thing, right? Like, yeah, it can't be... Yeah, it's not part of the weapon. Oh, that looks good. Alright. Just in case. Yeah, nothing else I really care about here. Ah, there's the stupid peg. I hate this thing. Ruins everything. Plain dragon form does have the red cloth, good to know. Let me do this. Ah, you know what? I should have gotten a shot of the other side of the door, like this stuff here, but from this side. That would have been cool. Oh well. Oh well. Mm-hmm. There we go. You think red and gold could be the dragon's colors? I don't know. I don't recall seeing lots of red and gold at Farm Azula. I remember seeing blue and gold quite a bit. But I don't know if that's necessarily the true. Maybe you can make an argument for the ones going after Bale, maybe? Or maybe it could be something similar to what we see with the barbarians, and it's something kind of like, hey, you get red for great hunt achievements, you know? Could be something like that. Woo! Woo! There we go. Let's do normal now. Ba-ba-doo. Well, yeah, we've seen all this before, so that's not that crazy. We got our lightning sheep. Red Fulgur blooms here, huh? Man, sucks. Sucks to be resurrected, huh? Ba-ba-da. Got the cookbook. Got our giant dragon friend. I better not talk to her, because I assume that me skipping her isn't going to cause any weirdness with her quest, as long as I don't kill Bale. No? Yeah, there's the... Spiky. Grand Canadian grease. Oh yeah, there's a corpse here, okay. There we go. How many rows of teeth does Florisax have? I don't know. I assume one, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, only one. Bunch of ugly witch teeth. Very uneven. Girl needs to go see a dentist. Oh, whoops, I dropped. Yeah, these are petals. Okay, or at the very least, they're made to look like petals. Maybe they're just using, like, an Erd tree effect and they recolored it, but it looks like it's not supposed to just be, you know, magical particles or something. Smash. Oh my god, Tyro. No! Do not smash the lizard! Yeah, now these are red particles. Yeah, okay, yeah. So it's definitely supposed to be the leaves. I assume the idea is supposed to be like leaves from the flower petals here. That would be presumably the idea. Huh? Where's the blue? It has nothing! Yeah, this is normal. Normal skeletons here. Nothing unusual. We got our one flower top over in this remote corner here. Oh. Yeah, that's what I thought. Ba ba ba. Oh. Alright, what about over here? this is considered Karo's Hidden Grave now. Which they call it Karo's Hidden Grave. Alright. Spirit Glaive. We don't. This isn't. Yeah, aren't any of the weapons we see skeletons use in the base game, right? Like this is supposed to be a new weapon. Let's see. You wonder if Dominula's flowers are moon related? I mean, maybe. I guess it depends on how closely associated the use of the flowers are to their practices, or if it's just kind of like, well, there's pink flowers that grow here, right? It just happens to be that way, right? Yeah, I don't know why these guys want to explode, you know? Oh, that's right! There's one of you here! I completely forgot. I'm being real. You kind of slipped my mind, buddy. I forgot that you exist. Was it Spirit Glaive on a body? It was a body, yeah. Woo! God, trying to kill this thing was such an annoying pain in the ass. Never again. Huh. I don't remember that bug. There we go, Glove Warp. We got ourselves a Glove Wart. Nothing crazy. Then I can get myself down to Cerulean Coast. All on my own. But down here is... yeah, it's over here. This is where the jail is. Where is it? Where is it? Ah, there you are. Also, a second flower top grave. Can I adjust the lighting to get a shot of you? There we go. Movement speed mod? No, this is a camera mod that happens to have a movement speed thing attached to it. It's not really a mod even, it's more so a tool, I suppose you could say, but, you know, it's the same accomplished thing. I don't think it's an accident this was placed right next to the jail, by the way. It's going to be that we find a bunch of grave crickets on stone coffins, whatever it's a hint to anything, or just because of the grave. I mean, it could. I mean, I don't know if there's anything special about bugs that become associated with graves or whatever, right? Because you can always argue that's just evolution or something. But it does make me curious why. What body type is the? It's a horn scent. Anyway, another reason that probably the fact it's next to a jail is so important. That's unusual. For sure, it's a very interesting thing. Like I said, I don't think it's an accident. It's placed next to one of these jails. Again, so far we've only found this one, and then the other one that's over off in a random-ass corner, right? The rest of them are the flat-top graves so far. Now, we can keep looking, see if there's any more we could have missed or whatever, but it's very obvious that they're making the flower-top grave the exception and not the rule, for obvious reasons, right? You could justify one or two, quote-unquote, like, America followers, or if we want to expand it to, shamans, potentially, even. Or shaman-related, right? Okay, yeah, I can live with something like that. Yeah, let's do this then. Very, very good find. This alone makes the stream worth it. Because maybe I found this before, but I definitely forgot about it. 100%. Do. Can I get any better lighting on the jail itself? Not really. I think it's the best we're gonna get. Alright. Move me over here, then. There we go. Other thing about grave crickets is their description. The sound of these crickets are often taken to be the rustling of the restless dead, or sometimes the sound of their calling. You know what? Now that you mentioned that, I do now vaguely recall this item. Man, I definitely haven't looked at it though in forever. All right, so let's get the there we go. Yeah, okay. This is for the Lamenter's jail. Anything? No. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Exactly what I wanted. All right. Oh. Thank you, hole in the wall. Rude. Why are you eating me, man? What did I ever do to you, bruh? Now that's just rude. Guy's just cowering. Yeah, there is a saint here, yeah. We do in fact have our wonderful, wonderful, virtuous ladies. I forget, is there any lore for the jails beyond just the saint stuff? Like, is it actually mentioned if they're actually used for, yeah, if they're actually used for anything else, or if they served any other purpose? Because I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I know that they locked up the ascetics for a while, right? Before the whole crusade thing broke out. But is that it? It was just abuse saints and lock up some, like, priest types? Especially some traveling monks? I thought there was a path down, but I guess I'm crazy. There's our maggots. Alright. Oh. Oh. I guess I'm supposed to jump down or something, huh? I do not remember how to navigate these things. Yay! Illusion of depth! Also, Yolan and Anna. Was it this jail specifically that they were associated with, or is it just, you know, the jails, period? Okay, sure, whatever you say, game. Ah, bodies. Oh my god. So cold, so moist. Uh-huh. Also seems like there's ancient dynasty roads in the jails. Well, some of it could just be copy-pasting some, like, basic patterns or something, right? Because I also noticed some, like, Belorat stuff, so, like, I don't know how relevant that really is. But it's definitely there for sure. I'm not crazy. There is a path down here. Yep. There's a path, alright. God, this place is surprisingly cold. I have no memory of it. Oh, there's the boss room, at least. Yeah, I hate navigating these things because I never remember where the secret path or whatever you're supposed to take is. Maybe it's my illusory wall or something, but I do not remember. You don't think it's the same stuff as the Ancient Dynasty from the main game? I mean, did I say that it was? This said it could be copy-pasted, didn't I? Just the same style. Well, the thing, as I recall, it's something we see. Like this top, I recall being something we might see from the base game. This something looks like something more Belorat. Don't know about this. This also looks familiar, but it could just be random squiggles. This looks like Ballarat. This, you know, this design here with like the angularness. I think some of this might also be used in forges. That though, I'd have to double check. Ba-ba-ba. You guys think Nox connection? I don't know about Nox connection, because they talk about Night, but we don't really see anything like Night Sorcery or Nox related. There's not a lot of Nox stuff that we see here. Like, this seems very separate from the Nox. There's also, like, no signs of an Eternal City or any type of Nox presence in the area, so. Yeah, I feel like I'm missing an illusory wall or something. Oh, yeah, it's just to fall through, like, a hole in the floor. Did we have to jump up somewhere? Maybe it was that. Listen, I can't listen to you. I can't listen to you whine forever. Oh. Nope. I really don't want to disturb anything that I can't undo, you know? I feel like I might have to. They're finger related as far as I know. Yolan and Anna, you mean? I mean, I guess so. They're associated with Ymir, but... Yeah, okay. I got nothing then. Oh, I confirmed what I wanted to, which was to confirm that, yeah, this was a jail like all the others with a little saint in them. So there's definitely several of those. They got the pots and everything, so that's for sure. Yeah, I would agree. I think the fact that we find their armor there would tell us that they're definitely connected to the jails. I guess the question would just be is, like, how and in what way. They're not horn scent, right? Like, there's nothing to indicate that they're horn scent girls or something. Because we have good old Charles, who, he at least has, like, the weird maggot caterpillar face thing stuff, right? So that way, you know, that even though he's got a face under that helmet, he's supposed to still be, like, a horn scent. Could have been captured from outside, you think? But wasn't the whole point that Yolan and Anna, like, grew up in the jails? Like, wouldn't it be weird if they were captured as children, and yet they're growing up to wear armor and weapons of adults? Unless they're, like, hand-me-downs, I guess? But, like, I don't know, it just feels kind of weird where it's like, okay, yeah, we'll let you use the weapons and armor of your people. But I could be misremembering their lore. Maybe they don't have any connection like that. Flat. 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 So much flat. Uh-huh. They're not horn scent? Okay, good to know. Alright. Yep. I was right. Grave bird ashes, jeez. Wonder why. Yeah, church would be over here. That's the town. I'd have to wonder if this town has any connection to the Gravebirds. Because I don't recall if there was anything, like, particularly death or Gravebird related there. Well, I guess death, yeah, there were a lot of, you know, grave markers there. But you know what I mean. Like, not Crusade connected. Bestowed upon those born. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, I'm pretty sure they, like, grew up in the jails for sure, yeah. Alright. Yeah, flat top, flat top. Yeah, flat tops everywhere. Yeah, pretty consistent. Then flower top over there, among the flat tops. Oh, found another flower top right here. Cool. That's a third. Super rare. Do I care about the skeletons being there? Sure. Let's get rid of the skeletons. It's finger armor? Oh! Don't have Nox eyes. Uh-huh. I don't recall seeing this plain grave that much either. Actually, I don't even recall if this gets used in the base game. Oh no, it's just the back of one of these graves. Okay, never mind. Yeah, we see these quite a bit then. Yeah, I don't usually see them, though, this big, though, and from this angle. Huh. Cool. Yeah, it's super rare. I am noticing a pattern, though, that they're all keeping them on edges, like in corners now. There's not a lot, though, here, otherwise. Man, just really, really tells you where the line is. I'm trying to get you to do the blue petals again. Now I'm wondering if that was a glitch or something. I figured it must have been because it was counting me in Cerulean air zone, but it's not happening, you know. Odd. There are unique graves at where we fight Yori. I think, yeah, there are. There are graves we don't really see in any other graveyard spot. I have to go the other path. Oh no! Like, where's all this water coming from that it's flooding these graves and stuff, you know? Interesting to note how the water stays pretty clear and all that, right? Like, it doesn't have that, milky murk to it. Woo! Whoopsie. Let's see. Yeah, same with here too, right? Like, where the hell is all this water coming from? I guess the idea has to be the water's coming from... Ah, you know what? Actually, that could... I'd have to think that one over. I don't think that works still. Come on. Yeah, we've already been around here, so we've seen all that stuff. Ooh. Oh, I did it again! I swear I cannot see that ledge for some reason. It's funny how with enemies, the aggro gravity comes at the cost of 100% of deaths. Yeah, crazy, you know? Things happen when you disable enemy AI, what you die to. Oh, whatever. Whatever. Is there anyone? No, there's not one here. Okay. Yeah, then we go back up there. Yeah, okay. Like this one, the only excuse is that it's like a pool, right? Which for some reason, these hippos really love their pools. They love their water. Even though, you know, it's never deep enough for them to submerge themselves in. What odd hippos. Also, they grow hair. I don't know about you, but I don't recall hippos growing hair that long. You know? I feel like that's kind of counterintuitive to swimming. Let me guess. Yep. I was like, is it gonna be like something dealing with the vengeful spirits? Yeah, of course. there's a path I could take over here, was it? Damn, where is it? Ah! Oh, I think I found it, but wrong way. Whoops. Oh well. And woody thorns, and it cut content wings. Wait, they were gonna give those things wings? Oh my god, that would have looked so fugly. Thank god they had the self-restraint. Last thing those things need is to be rolling around with wings. There we go. Or not? Like crazy chat, I could have swore I was scaling down the pathway to get to Cerulean. But I have no idea where that path is now. Like, holy hell. It's definitely not there. Oh, guess I'm just stupid. Can't find it again. Yeah, imagine they felt that doing the whole roly-poly was enough for the boss slash, I don't know, mini-boss enemy, I guess? Actually swimming in concept art. Oh, that would have been so cool. That would have been so cool if instead of, like, freaking... I mean, I guess it's cool what we got with the tree spirits in the final game. But it would have been so cool if you actually saw, like, a hippo kind of, like, you know, swimming through the water in the flooded chapel area, you know? Oh, there it is. So I had the right idea. Right idea, wrong implementation. Right? This feels wrong to me, Chad. I feel like I had a better idea before. Oh, well. Yeah, no. Never mind. Doesn't work. Oh, well. I don't know how I'm gonna get myself down there, then. Unless I can't remember if you can cheat or whatever with Stake America by, like, dropping down there. Yeah, no. Okay. I mean, it's fine. I've already been down here with all the stuff we already got, but, like, oh well. I was kind of hoping I could remember how to scale down, but whatever. Whatever. Oh! That's fine. Uh-huh. And I'm pretty sure the gravestones end more or less back here, right? Yeah, more or less. Yeah, they become spirit graves over here. Which is odd. You'd expect the spirit graves to appear more in the Deathbird stuff if it's oh if it's all the same cause. So I wonder if there's something else keeping it from being spirity. But we also see the flowers and the bugs look spirity, so I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. When Mikkel abandons Trina, his cross says he abandoned his love. Does JPTX clarify if this is platonic love, romantic love, selfish love, etc.? That's somewhat of a tricky question to answer. For the sake of simplicity, I guess you could kind of say platonic love, but I would say it's more along the lines of well, it's not really platonic love in that sense, but like it's more like a compassionate kind of love. Like it's definitely a deep love. Like it's not like something where it's like, you know, like, oh, you know, I casually like you, like, you know, I have a mildly positive opinion about you or something, right? Like it's definitely a type of deep love. It's not necessarily romantic. So yeah, it seems to tie into a lot about his idea of compassion, where like he wants to have his compassion for everyone, right? Like everyone's going to be, you know, have equity in his new world, but it'll be an equity that can't be based on love because, you know, love can be biased or something like that. Seems to be the message. You think the implication is that they're even older then? I mean, that could be the idea, but it'd be a bit weird to me then if the idea is that, like, you know, those graves are even older than that. But I guess the idea could be is that, you know, it was more like the burial practices were more casual here, and then this stuff came a little late. I don't know, because then there's some stuff where it's like, really? I don't know, I have to think about that one. But yeah, it's definitely not romantic. I don't think platonic's the right word for it, but it's definitely something where it's like, you know, it's a deep, it's not a casual type of liking or anything like that. It is supposed to be kind of like a deep love, and in the context of Elden Ring, it seems to be supposed to be like a love for, you know, people, you know, the world, humanity, you know, that type of thing. Which makes sense in the context of Trina and, like, you know, the whole dream space and bringing everyone in, and all we're gonna be all sitting together and, you know, singing Kumbaya, all that jazz. I'm just finding more flats, so I cannot find another flower head. So it seems to be just like 3 flower top graves in Karo's hidden grave. Honestly, the flat tops in general go down as we've gone deeper into here, you know? Sometimes I wish it was something as simple as I could just look at, like, you know, which one has a round head or not, right? But unfortunately, that's gonna make us so prone to error, because I'm definitely going to mistake a few if I use that as my quick criteria. Alright, I think that pretty much covers all of this side, so the only other place would be to go in this way, right? I do not remember Miquela's dialogue lines. Like, my gut assumption would be yes, but I'd have to double check. Because I honestly don't know. Another flat. A little bit of our favorite little buzzy boys. Flat! Yay! Yeah, so far, no more flower tops. We just have hordes that like to just, you know, sit and stare at bodies with Gloveport, you know? Yeah, nope, nothing. I'm just waiting for there to be like a flower top grave that's just slightly sticking out of the ground, and I'm gonna walk, you know, run over it or something. Not notice. There's our favorite Yoda wannabe. Spirit sword off another demi-human. Ay, ay, ay. There's the coastline. Yeah, not a single flower top grave down here. They're all in Karos. Okay. So be it then. You guys ever spy one? Feel free to drop it in the Discord, because I have looked. I've looked as thoroughly as I think I can, and not seeing it here in the coast. Is the demi-human eating that Hornsense body? Could just be trying to search around for loot, but yeah, it's the eat worms animation. You see them pull out worms and stuff from the ground. So again, feel free to interpret that however you want, whether that's just them reusing the animation to kind of give this impression of, hey, look, see, he's looting his dead buddy's body, or if it's actually just supposed to be like, oh, hey, my buddy died right on top of, like, some worms, you know? See? Do we have any evidence of Ymir or anyone appearing here? I don't think so, right? Then I guess the ones teaching demi-human sorcery would have to be the Hornset? Oh, is Miquela's dialogue about compassion, not about love? Oh, 1 second, chat. I gotta... Alright, false alarm. Nothing to worry about. Yeah, if he's talking about compassion in his dialogue and not love, then yeah, that's definitely would have been a different term. But in terms of his love, again, it's not something I would say can't be romantic, but it's something that's like not, you know, it's not about romance in the context of Miquela, clearly, from what it's talking about. It's very expansive. It's supposed to be an expansive, deep, you know. In Miquela's case, you know, it makes a comparison of it being this all-encompassing love. It's not about, you know, it's not, obviously, it's not sexual. It's not It's not about just, you know, casually, you know, like it's like, oh, you know, I love everything, you know, that type of thing, right? It very much seems to be in this context supposed to be like this idea of a love for humanity, love for, you know, the world, the people around it, you know, that type of thing. The staff's given by the Academy, if I recall correctly. Yeah, but I would be wondering if it's recontextualized in this case, because there's, you know, maybe no Academy here, right? Yeah, it could be that maybe the Academy did have a presence, though, once upon a time. Especially if the idea was supposed to be that they were also contributing, you know, dead bodies there. So we have the two death birds in the Earnia. Okay, so the grab does talk about love. Then yeah, I don't remember if it's the same term or not. I would assume so, but like I said, I cannot. I'm not gonna, you know, say that if I don't remember. This one is for... Okay, back here. Gotcha, by the jail. Seriously! Where's all this water coming from? It's so much! It's like just a freaking pool, little, like, shallow pool we go through, and it, like, dumps all this water. Granted, this is true for, like, all the shallow pools and waters that we see, right? If it's for the brainwashing thing, I would assume that it's probably... Because I remember Mikola's branch also talking about how everyone loves him. I remember that. I think that was also the same terminology. Ah, yeah. I gotta double check that stuff myself because I don't wanna mislead in case they're using a synonym or something. But I wouldn't be surprised because that sounds consistent with like Mikola's brainwashing twig branch things. Okay, so flat tops everywhere, except for those 3 spots we got shots of. Depends if the Hornset with no glintstone sorcery, they seem to have focused on hexes. Yeah, it's true. It would be a bit weird if they're copy-pasting the enemy and it's for something that, a culture that doesn't necessarily know, glintstone. I also wonder if it could just be wandering sorcerers in the area, like independent sorcerers, you know? Hello, controller? You gonna work on me? There we go. Hornset finger weaver sorcerers in the general region, which could maybe have taught these to Ah, that's true. There is the finger sorcery stuff too, so that could be the case. Though again, it would be a little weird if it's not like proper glintstone sorcery. There's also, again, it could be something like related to Ymir, because Ymir studies glintstone and stuff. So it could be he made him and his posse could have made relations with the demi-humans for that. That could always be the explanation as well. It's supposed to kind of hint at Ymir going to the Deo ruins. Because he has to go to the ruin. He has to be like, he's all about like going to the ruins and doing stuff or whatever, right? And he's not getting access to the Rhea ruins, right? Oh no, this is Rhea, that's Deo. Okay, yeah. Keep mixing them up, damn. But yeah, the point is like, he only has access to like one of these ruins if the others are supposed to be like hidden behind Shadow Keep's like, you know, Hinterland, Seal, you know, America statue set up, right? So, yeah, the grab is... Okay, so it's the same. Okay, it's I then. Okay, good to know. Okay, good to know. It's not koi or anything. Alright, in that case... That seems to cover all the stuff I'd want to look at then. So we got some more stuff. I'm very happy about the shots on the gravestones. That makes this stuff so worth it. The basic horn enemies when they cast Spirit Magica does magic damage. That is so funny to me. They go out of their way to show it, like, you know, with the gold and holiness and stuff. Wondering if if the weather was good enough to take a shot of, but I guess not. I'm going inside the maw of the beast. Come on. Come on. Huh. For a second, I almost threw myself off a cliff. Sparkly boy, huh? Alright, let's go back this way. It's definitely jagged. What did you die? Huh? Chat, is that always the thing? Just a casual dead bird with a Caller Bloom on it? What? Game has an update since I last checked. Yeah, I find that so funny when they do that. Magic Spirit strikes me as snake bend lightning, dealing magic damage. Well, yeah, for sure. That's what I would assume as well. Yeah, they coat themselves with flame lightning. Oh, that's cool. Are the spirits channeled by the horned warriors themselves of horned animals and peoples, or can the horn scent channel any spirits? I don't know. I've not thought about their divine invocation powers enough. I've not thought about what gods they've got. Random wildlife on the jagged peaks and ice drop caliber. Okay, so it is just a random drop. Okay. Dragon did OT. Okay. Okay, so probably just randomly killed the bird by accident. No, there's stuff that randomly dies all the time. Like, you randomly get runes and things for something where you're like... I mean, this happened with me without the ×5 speed. It's... I'm not that surprised. Yeah, I don't want to do anything there. Alright. I was just kind of curious if that was like a scripted thing or if that was actually just random. Oh. Yeah, they just randomly drop that on you. A shadow tree fragment. Say it ain't so. Another one. Let's see. Nah. You get this type. Oh, for a second I thought these rocks were human bodies. I was like, oh, okay. Yay for bushes. Egon's cookbook. Ah, damn. Ah, damn. Ah! Well, I deserved it. That's what I get for missing my jump. Oh? Hello? 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 YOLO! There we go. Hello, room service! Can't believe that worked. My ×5 jump's not being janked. What the hell? Over here, right? I think. Oh god, I don't remember where I'm going. Is this just a dead end? Or is it? I think it's just a dead end. Dragon's Calor. Okay, there we go. I need to go up the cliff area, and then we're here. Alright, then we don't ever go inside here. Oh boy, there we go. I mean, this can't be natural, right? Like, this had to have been carved, even if it was by the dragons themselves, I'd imagine. Or maybe by death birds, you never know. Alright, I think I'm done. I think I got what I wanted. I got some good shots. I'm gonna feel very bad, chat, because I might have to get something on the snakes done, because I don't think I can fit my... I don't think I can keep any of the existing Dominula and Hermit Village stuff, and even some of the Snake Worshipper stuff, where it's at right now. I think Erdtree's Beginning is gonna have to cut it. I think I'm just gonna have a talk about the festive grease in relation to Salmon Village, and then have to move all the Dominula stuff to, like, I don't even know what to call it. Like, what would the topic be called? Like the Snake Cult? Like the Gelmir snake? Egglay? We just call it Egglay? Just be like, let's just assume Egglay's the actual name of this goddamn snake. The shot with the sunbeams was nice. I mean, there's a lot of nice shots for sure with this game. Maybe I'll come back and get some more there. I'm trying to think, like, I don't know how far or how expansive I want to do it, right? I don't know, maybe we'll listen to some Gelmir lore and see if anyone's, like, done the work for me so I don't have to write so much on the snake and stuff like that. I don't know. I have to think about that one, because I wasn't expecting I would have to do, like, I'd be like, damn, I'm gonna have to cut this stuff, too. I thought it was short enough that I could be able to, like, work it in there, but I'm like, no, this stuff is just way too expansive, and it would just be such a huge aside to try to tie that thing back into shamans. Like, hey, here's all this stuff about shamans. Oh, yeah, also, here's all this lore about, like, frickin' snake stuff, so we can talk about how they're connected. Like, yeah, no. I was hearing someone by the Horn Baron implied to be less cursed than those someone by the Omen Baron. Jester notes Onryo versus another word. I do not recall off the top of my head. I mean, I'm not an expert on the supernatural, but when it comes to, you know, the JP terminology and stuff like that. But generally speaking, like, a curse is a curse, right? I guess the argument would just be, like, the degree or the depth of that curse. But if we're talking about, like, curses, like, for Onryo, like, curses of resentment or grudges, right? They tend to be, you know, kind of just, like, vaguely, you know, like, they're not casual, right? It's not like, oh, I stubbed my toe, I'm now going to haunt you for the rest of eternity, right? Like, they tend to be pretty serious. Like, you have to have a very, very deep resentment for you to have an Onryo after death. Yeah, with wraiths and everything. The idea, yeah. That term there literally, again, has the idea of, like, a cursed spirit. So, like, I don't see it as something where I'd be like, oh, yeah, we have something that's, like, more cursed versus another thing. But again, I won't claim that I know the nuances about that type of stuff enough to say it. Yeah, there's nothing else really I can add. the Gelmir things. Anyway, we're gonna end things here for today, chat. Yeah, there's just the church here. There's the... Yeah, most of the lore about Gelmir snake stuff would basically be what we already have, plus the environmental storytelling, but we can already do that by going to the other area, so... Yeah, I think we're gonna end it here. How easy would it be for me to quickly check the... Yeah, those would be, like, wrathful spirits. Wonder if one is, Jesters is wondering if one is a grudge, another someone who's first cursed, then died with a grudge? There's not really a distinction there, no. No. If the question, if that's the type of thing we're talking about, then no, typically it's all the same. And in the context of the race and stuff, it's clearly being talked about the ideas, like, the grudge is the curse, right? That's generally how it is. Right? Like, that's generally how it is with Onryo, or with, just generally any types of, like, it's not really necessarily, I guess, with Seirei, though I guess it can also apply to them and stuff like that, and other types of spirits and ghosties and all that stuff, apparitions, I guess, but... Anyway, wait, that wasn't what I wanted. Yeah, I'm gonna end things here, chat. We have the stuff with Rykard here and stuff, so maybe we'll do another stream, maybe we'll do it while listening to lore on Rykard and things like that. Like... Yeah, there's not much in the environmental storytelling department for shots, I think. So I think I'm just gonna have to try to write based on what we got in the text and the implications from there.